What's up in Minnesota? And this is being going through October 11th through the 24th, through October 11th, 2024 through November 9th, 2024. And we are going to start with updates. So our first update, case 138002, it's a case of interest. My son and I, well, we'll just read the detailed description here. I seen something speed across the road traveling from west to east. It caught the corner of my eye. Immediately told my son to look at the silver chrome ball that stopped and moved at 90 degrees to the right, which would be back to the west, and then proceed south at this time. So myself and Anna are on this one. I closed it because it's getting close to closing time for it. However, we're still waiting on video analysis from MUFON. However, here's some of the images. And if you can see, it looks like there might be some little stuff coming from down from underneath it, maybe, which is typical of some of these. Here's kind of a closer view of it. I know the witness in this. He's a very credible person. I think he knows what he's talking about. The video was very compelling. And this particular object, that style of object, I've done cases on it before, and I think he really caught something there. I don't think this is a balloon. But anyhow, we're still waiting on the video analysis to find out. So I did complete it as unknown UAV, but that's pending the video analysis, because as we know, no cases are ever closed. Okay, so case 138231 happened on 8/30/24 at 5 o'clock in the afternoon down in Savage. It looks like a flying squid. No idea what it is. About the size of a passenger jet. Maybe a meteor breaking up. Don't know. Tom Maher has completed this one. And that's what it looked like right there. How many videos? I didn't put that. Pictures. Okay, so that's a picture there of it. And there's a closer one. I think there's one more. Yep, here we go right here. And this kind of explains exactly what it is. So, investigator summary: witness has declined the interview. He has determined that the object is just a kite, which that's kind of what it looked like to me. His exact statement was, "I'm a big fan of MUFON's work on these things in the sky. I found out what it was. It was a weird-looking kite. Case solved. If I catch anything else, I will submit it." Witness also claimed to find other links and supporting information online indicating that it was a kite. I asked to see the links so I could review it for myself. Witness never sent the links. I requested an interview anyways, just for the formality investigation. Witness has not responded. And that happens. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The witness has already decided what it was and doesn't want to talk anymore, and that's okay. So Tom says, I found a kite on Amazon that could certainly be the object. I've attached a screenshot of the Amazon kite, enclosed in case IFO man-made object, Tom Maher. And this is a screenshot because I actually looked at the, this is off of Amazon, because this is what I looked at too. So this is a screenshot he was talking about. All right, case 137832 happened July 20th at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Up in Lincoln County, a few UFOs spotted near a wind tower. This is by Tom Maher, and it is completed, and these are pictures of it. You can kind of see a couple of smudges there just below the windmill and one kind of behind it. And yeah, here's kind of a close-up of it, crop of it. And that's where it happened. And let's see what he says. He says, I interviewed the witness back in October. Witness was friendly and optimistic. They had always been open to the subject of UFOs and ETs, but they had never seen anything. They had been a believer who had never seen anything. Okay, so weather conditions were very good. There are wispy clouds at best. The picture seems to show three similar or the same objects in three different locations on the view screen in different sizes, which I attribute to being different distances from each other. The objects seem to be flying in formation, and at the speed at which the witness reports from the live picture, they couldn't be birds or bugs. They also do not appear to be planes or helicopters. So checking with Flight Radar 24, there was nothing in the area at that exact time when the live pic was taken. They seem to be relatively similar in altitude as the windmills and the object. Probably meant the picture. These windmills are on the Buffalo Ridge Wind Farm windmills. They're about 257 feet tall. Okay, they are 257 feet tall. And since each of the objects seems to be a different size, I don't see how this could be some sort of reflection or refraction in the lenses. They seem to be three separate objects, despite how similar they are. Despite how similar they are. They are not lens flares based on Flight Radar 24 data, the weather, and the clarity of the pictures. I can only determine these are unidentified, anomalous phenomena, closing cases, unknown UAV. So that's what Tom came up. All right, 137886, shape unknown in Plymouth, fixed object observed directly above me. So I stared up the clouds and noticed on edge of the moving high altitude clouds a bright white speck. I focused on it and tried to identify it. The clouds moved next to it, but it remained stationary. It reminded me of a very similar experience I had as a teenager not far from here. Because of that, I continued to watch for any movement. However, it did not move, and the clouds moved in underneath it. I did not see it again afterwards. Peter Collins is on this. He's completed it. He says, I believe the witness is credible and did see something which appeared to stay stationary. He was able to see the object until clouds moved under the object, which blocked his view. It may be possible that what the witness saw was a plane that appeared to be stationary, but actually moving because it's up so high. Sometimes it kind of looks that way. My distribution in this case is UAV. So he's calling this an unknown. 138703, September 30th, 2024, at 8 o'clock in the evening in Plymouth. Detailed descriptions: I saw a giant pulsating white sphere move across the sky 4,000 to 6,000 feet up, but could also see color shifts with the naked eye. When you zoom in on sphere and enlarge, pulsating disco ball of colors, and when you screenshot of orbs, always different color, and pulsates away different shape. Oh, this is hard to read, I'm sorry. So you can't see sphere, but different shapes. Saw and caught on video also 2 nights ago with better look, and then multi-pulsating spheres with like tentacles all around it. It reminds me of the Tesla electricity ball with random colors and pulsations. Made no sounds, no wings, no FAA regulation alternating flashing lights. Went over me and towards horizon and should have been able to view because it's so bright, but it just blanked out. So Stephen was on this one, completed it. Here's some pictures of it. Yeah, okay, here is a video. Oh, sorry, keep going here. And you can kind of see some stars in the background here, which is a nice reference. It's kind of hard to tell if it's traveling in a straight line or not, because when you're zoomed in that close, it's really difficult. But he keeps on it pretty good. And let's see what this one over here looks like. I think this is just a close-up of it. Maybe a different camera angle. Again, you can see a couple of stars here for reference. And there's a couple more stars you can see for reference there. And I think this might be a power line or something. So you can kind of get an idea of what it's doing. It looks very bright. And it just continues to come on down. I don't think it blinks out here. I think it just gets to the end. So, okay. So those are the 2 videos associated with that one. Oh, come on. There we go. Then he zoomed in. So here's one picture. Here's the next one. Of course, when you zoom in, things are going to get all kinds of just weird on you. It gets all pixelated. So zooming in is fine, but you don't really get a whole lot out of it. At least I don't think I do. So anyhow, let's see if Steve did this. He said it's an iPhone man-made. So let's read what it says here. It says, when viewing the video, one can see the faint color change of the object. And this is normal when photographing with cell phones due to several reasons, such as small sensor and aperture size and fast shutter speeds than a traditional camera. Also, atmospheric conditions can also interfere, especially near the horizon. At approximately 7:58 p.m., the ISS appeared in the western sky at 10 degrees above the horizon, and at 8:02 p.m., it disappeared in the south-southeast at 10 degrees above the horizon. It was by far the brightest object in the sky at the time. This matches somewhat with his statement that it went from west to east in a straight line just above the horizon at around 8 p.m. And the color changes could be attributed to light distortion due to atmospheric conditions. Therefore, I think this was actually the ISS in which he observed. So, iPhone, handmade object. Good job, Steve. Okay, this next one here, 138733.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Oh, sorry, that was my phone. Shouldn't. Get rid of that. Okay. We'll go with the detailed description here. As I turned down my driveway, I was engulfed in a white, super bright beam. I was so freaked out, I looked up to see what it could be. and just above my truck was a black circular object looking like metal maybe, but on its edge was a halo or a ring of lights, like if you wrapped a light strip around it. Then there was a really bright flash and it was gone entirely. I was scared, freaked out, no sound, no flight path, it just blinked out of existence. The only thing that happened was my Bluetooth music stopped, the car worked fine, no heat or vibration. It seemed like it was 6 feet above me, maybe 16 feet wide, but I'm not sure. This one here is a really interesting one. I talked to her for a little while. We are actually, she said while she was in the car and the light was on her, she said she could barely see out the door, can only see a few inches down towards the hood. So it was quite an intense light. We're going to try to get some field investigators out there to check out the car and see if there's any magnetism to it, radiation, anything. Check out the area where it happened and go for that, because this is going to be a really good on-site investigation. So hopefully we can make that happen. I did complete it as an unknown UAV. After interviewing the witness, it's clear to me that the witness saw something extraordinary, even given the confusion of whether or not they got home sooner or later, because I talked to them and they didn't know if they got home sooner than they're supposed to, later than they're supposed to, or expected to. They just could not remember. The attitude of the witness was that of someone that saw something very strange and that they just could not understand. There's a history of seeing orbs when the witness and their sibling were younger, but there has been nothing since then until this incident. It's interesting to note that only a couple of days after this initial sighting, the witness did see what they believe was the same object, only a little closer this time. Meaning, as they're driving home, they saw the object the first night. The second time they're driving home, they saw the object, but it was closer to them when they initially saw it. But at this point, the witness just drove home without incident and nothing happened. So it's my belief that the witness did see a structured craft above the car that evening. If the witness sees anything similar or has any other memories, they will contact me then in case this position is an unknown UAV. Okay, 138855 cylinder happened near St. Michael. Observed object for about 10 minutes or longer. It appeared to be slowly spinning. Towards the end of the sighting, the object straightened out and started moving faster in a straight line. Lost sight of it when it went behind a tree. Witness 2 was observing the object from a different location on the property and said the object vanished shortly after straightening out and gaining speed. I would have dismissed this as some sort of weather balloon, but feel it was something else since it started to speed up and travel in a straight line. Stephen Hero did that. He's got it completed. And here's some pictures. Some very interesting pictures. And it's a cylinder. It looks like it's self-illuminating. I think maybe self-illuminating, unless that's reflecting off the sun. But it is very strange. Kind of weather balloon-ish as far as it's, translucent, or you can see through it. But the shape is not that of a weather balloon. That'd be more of a, if it was a weather balloon, you think it'd look more like a ice cream cone or something. So here's his summary. It says, when the photos are enlarged, one can see that part of the object is translucent, which reminded me of some type of balloon. A quick search of Google Photos shows that this may be some type of high-altitude research or weather balloon. But since the witness thought it changed direction and began to increase in speed, that may not be the case. So I'm classifying this as an unknown UAV. All right, good job, Steve. Interesting one. All right, overview of new cases. So the new cases that came in this month, here we go. What we got? We got 9 cases were submitted in the date range that from the 15th to the 1st, and that's what I looked at. Well, actually, it was from 15th until today, but the last one was reported on the 1st. The date range of the sightings go from December 16th of last year through October 30th of this year. There are no cases of interest, but we had 2 circles, 2 ovals, 1 other, and 2 rectangulars or square shapes, and 2 cylinders. We had 3 close encounters of the first kind, which is a close encounter of the first time is a close approach within 500 feet. We have maneuvers. I'm just going to go over this right now. We have maneuvers of the first kind, which is a discontinuous trajectory, so it just kind of moves erratically. And a maneuver of, no, that's flyby, I'm sorry. And a flyby, which is a continuous trajectory. The flyby 2 is a continuous trajectory with effects. So we'll see what those effects are once we get closer to, or once we get to that case. So the first one here, this is the flyby 1, happened in Cold Spring. Was looking at the stars and noticed a 4-star constellation, patterned vaguely like a triangle or diamond. Moved slowly from west to east, appeared lower to the ground than airplanes or jets, and made no sound, had to be very large given relative observation of known aircraft. Peter Collins is on this one. There's no pictures or anything, but we will find out what he comes up with. Next one is a square, a rectangle that happened down in Prior Lake. I was driving and the sky was dark. Clouds looked interesting. Even though I couldn't see anything in the sky, I decided to take a photo, and that's what I found in the photo. On one photo that was taken in short succession showed what appears to be a top at the bottom of the sky. Bill McNeff is on that one. It's in progress, and here are the photos. I'm not sure what they're looking at here. I see reflections in the window, but I don't really see anything outside unless they're seeing something else that I don't know. Is Bill on call today? No, maybe not. Okay, that's fine. But anyhow, interesting. Case number 139094 happened October 26th. Lights around the ridge of the Frisbee, and of course this was probably about the size of an olive pit if you were to hold it at arm's length and look at it up in the sky, which is perfect because that's exactly what we need to really kind of determine or decide what size these objects are. If you hold an object out at arm's length, and about what could be holding, a nickel, a dime, an olive pit, whatever, and then we can kind of do some trigonometry and figure out how big it is. So that's excellent that they put that in there. Okay, so at first as a line, and then it tilted as it moved west to east. It made no sound. The object slowly faded out in the night sky. It was a clear sky, dark with stars shining. Temperature was a cold 51 degrees. I could see the stars. There wasn't a plane in the sky until after the object faded out. The plane was moving north to south. If I put my arm all the way out, counted, it was about 5/5 up in the air at the angle that it was flying. I don't know what 5/5 mean. That's okay. Tom's on that one. It's a sign. There's no media to this one, so we'll find out what Tom finds out later. Case number 139096 happened October 26th at 8 o'clock up in Buffalo. I saw this glowing line, one solid line, making its way up from Buffalo Lake right near my apartment while on a walk. I took some shoddy video of it being obstructed by trees, but when it got to the clearing where I was going to film it, it either vanished physically or turned its lights off and blended into the night sky. It was weird. Starlink is a bunch of tiny dots. This was a glowing, line. Well, Stephen here was on this one. It's in progress, and there's videos to this, so let's take a look. There's the first one. Yep, you see it right there. They zoom in. Looks like it's moving across the sky. I'll walk out there and then take a closer look at it. That was it. Let's take a look at this one over here. And then zoomed in now. Now you can see it a little bit better. They're both short videos. So kind of fuzzy, but you kind of get the gist of what's going on there. So move this thing out of the way again. There we go. And we'll find out what Steve comes up with on that one. So October 26th, case 139101, October 26th at about 10 o'clock at night in Sartell. Short description is light started out still with no sound. Orb started, saw a jet fly towards it and then turn away. After a few minutes, began moving. Detailed description says, please review. There were no sounds. Starlink was not in the area and last launch was 10:23. Hoping someone can identify this flying object with orbs. Jamie Flood. This is her first one. It's in progress, and let's take a look at the video. See what's on here.
Oh my God!
We're kind of zooming in. Hard to tell. It doesn't look like Starlink. It looks like a solid picture or a solid light, solid object. You can see the green thing. That's just lens flare. So he's going to have to talk to the witness about this one, interview them, and see what else they know. But it's nice to see that they're kind of out of ways, so that you have a good reference of what we're looking at. All right, Next case, 139116 on October 26th at 8 o'clock at night again in Elk River. We saw a slow but steady moving rectangular object with bright glowing lights. It stayed that way for a few minutes before the pulsating glow slowly dimmed out and it could no longer be seen. For a short period of time, the lights were dim and you could still make out the rectangular object. It gave me a weird, eerie feeling sensation while I observed it. It was exciting, but definitely made me feel a certain type of way when I was watching it. It's hard to explain. Stephen here was on this one. It's in progress, and we have videos on this one too. Let's take a look at this video. Yeah, there it goes across the sky. You can kind of see some stars in the background for reference to, which is kind of nice. So, well, we will find out what that is. All right, next case, 139146 happened September 9th, 24 at 9 p.m. in Matoa. Let's see, I was sitting on the deck on a total of 7 blue orbs, at least as high as the I don't even know what I'm trying to say there. Pretty high. Up clear to fly fast with no noise across the sky. One set of blue orbs, some seemed bright. Others were very close, like tailing it, all flying or shooting across the sky within several minutes, and then all just disappeared. It could have been one, but I did not feel it. Unable to get footage because it happened so fast. So when I do these detailed subscriptions, they are cut and paste right off of CMS. So I obviously didn't clean this one up, but I don't normally clean them up. So that way you can actually see what we're looking at. Bill McNuff is on this. It's a sign there's no media. So after he talks to the witness and figures out what it is, he'll let us know. Next one here, 139155 happened October 30th at 7:20 p.m. A rectangular or a square. This happened up in Moose Lake. The detailed description says, notice a rectangular object in the northern sky that had 2 rows of 6 to 8 dim lights. Also the edge, the same color glow, almost matched the same colors of the stars, moving west to east. It seemed to slowly vanish into the dark sky. Maybe rotated on its edge so underlights were not visible. Don't know. There were no sounds. Seemed to be 1,000 to 2,000 feet high at the most. Definitely out of place in the sky. Peter Collins is on this one. There's no media on this, so obviously he's going to have to talk to the witness and let us know. 139167, October 15th at 8 p.m. A lot of things happen around 8 p.m. This is up in War Road. Caught a strange object in a night lapse making a descending circle and speeding off. So, let's see, recorded a night lapse with my new fancy camera. Sounds like actually a really nice camera. Trying to get a video of the Tsuchinshan comet and captured an unknown object come into view and then made a descending circle before continuing on its path. Total real time was about 15 minutes. Analyzing the still photos from the time lapse, the object looks real strange and has different colored lights. Then seen a bunch of TikTok videos of the exact same object filmed in real time. I'm the investigator on this. I invited Jamie to help me out with this one. It's completed, so let's find out what Jamie found out, because I made her do all the work. Okay, so Lee's going to show you the comment. It's going to run through this video a couple of times in real time. Then towards the end, it'll show a slower version of it. So it's right above the trees, right in here. So just watch for that. It happens pretty quick. So there's the comment. That's pretty awesome. And then that comes in there and takes off. We'll show it again. I think he brightens it on this one. No, darkened it. There's the comment again. And then there's the object, comes through, does a little 360 and keeps going. And there's another one. And then this last one here comes in slow. Now you can see it right above the trees. It comes down, does a 360, and then continues to the north. Okay. And let's see what Jamie came up with this one. So we're looking at the video the witness sent, and after looking on Flight Radar 24 and ADS-B, what was that one called? ADS-B something?
ADS-B. It's the unfiltered version of Flight Radar, basically. ADS-B Exchange.
ADSB exchange. Okay, so there you go. That was another great site. I didn't know about that site until Jamie told me about it. So thank you very much. I'm gonna start using that one. Okay, so after looking at Flight Radar 24 and the ADSB site, it's obvious to me that the witness caught aircraft November 484 November Delta, which is a Piper Archer from the North Dakota University flight program, flying into War Road Airport that evening. The flight path clearly shows the aircraft doing a 360-degree turn approximately 6 miles south of the airport. This is exactly what the witness caught on camera. The 360-degree turn is a training maneuver the flight instructors will make flight students do from time to time. It's an exercise in aircraft handling and finesse, and it teaches the student to maintain altitude and airspeed while in a turn, which makes perfect sense. So, case closed as an IFO man-made object aircraft. So, very good, Jamie. Thank you very much for the help on that one.
Thank you for inviting me to join you.
Absolutely. Okay, I think we're coming up on our last one here. It's case 139191. It happened December 26th of last year at about 7 p.m. down in Mankato. And it says, I was looking at my bedroom window on a clear night at about 7 p.m. There are 3 trees around 75 to 100 feet tall across the street. I noticed there was a small object hovering over the middle tree. It had lights like Christmas lights pulsating around it. I would say the object was about 2 foot in diameter. I watched it hover for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then it started to slowly move in my direction. It never wobbled or changed type, but moved slowly across the street where it went over my apartment. I opened the bedroom window to hear if it made any noise, but it was completely silent. It definitely was not an airplane or a helicopter. I don't think it was any type of drone either, because I've never seen one that was round, had colored lights around it, or didn't make some kind of sound or noise. I would have gone outside, but living in Minnesota in the winter, it would have been hard to put on shoes, jacket, etc. Yes, and it gets cold out there too. And I figured by the time I got outside, it would have disappeared. I've always been interested in UFOs and science fiction. I've loved listening to Art Bell at Coast to Coast, as do I. I have no idea why such an object would be over a small town in southern Minnesota. If you have any ideas, think about it all the time, look out my window. And this is in progress. And as soon as I find out, I will let everybody know. And that's what's up in Minnesota.